Welcome back. Time is 8:44. A man is accusing Charlotte-Mecklenburg police and the real estate company behind Optimist Hall of discriminating for using a service animal. Court documents show Benjamin Bowman is suing both CMPD and Providence Group over an alleged incident that happened back in 2022. It states the manager asked Bowman to provide proof that his dog was in fact a service animal. He claims the manager then called police and accused Bowman of being disruptive. Bowman says officers arrived and asked him to leave. The complaint accuses CMPD of violating the American with Disabilities Act by not allowing Bowman to enter police headquarters with his service dog. Now, the ADA says that businesses cannot ask for documentation showing the animal is registered, licensed, or certified as a service animal. Instead, they can only ask if the service animal is required because of a disability or what work the animal is trained to perform. Joining us now, our chief legal analyst, Khalif Rhodes here. Khalif, this is the case. Let's get to him going in there making complaint with police. You would hope they know the law. Why didn't they in this instance?
Officers are not attorneys. I mean, I got to give them credit. They're out there doing a number of things, and most of their interactions are going to be of the criminal capacity, right? There is to protect and to serve. And in the process of protecting, you may come upon a domestic violence. You may walk upon a DWI. You may walk upon someone that is actively attempting to exercise their rights under the American with Disabilities Act and seeing someone infringe on their rights. They're not attorneys. They're specifically not civil litigators, and they're not folks that understand the intricate details of that act. But they do have a CMP, an attorney. So communicating with your attorney, ensuring that they're giving you good guidance is normally what you would want them to do. In this situation, this was maybe the worst of all situations because you have a person that seems extremely knowledgeable. This plaintiff knew exactly what the law required and knew that his service animal was in compliance, knew that he had no requirement to have any documentation to show that, and called them on their bluff. I think it got escalated with the officers attempting to enforce some rule that wasn't there. Right. So to your original question, you can attempt to train on a number of things. But I think if you're talking about where would I spend my resources on, probably de-escalation training. It's probably ensuring that I have officers that know how to deal with a domestic violence call or properly being trained to handle a DWI. You know, do I know how to do the HGN, ensuring that their eyes are following properly on a horizontal gaze and stigmas test. What I'm not going to spend time on is probably ADA conduct because this is probably a once in a lifetime encounter that they would have. Not saying that the officer was right. Clearly they were wrong, but I can understand and appreciate how they had no idea what they were talking about.
Khalif, let me ask you this. When it goes to what happened allegedly at Optimist Hall, so they ask this gentleman, can you provide documentation for it? He says, I don't have to provide that. That's against the law. And they insist on it. Then they call police. Police get there. And then they say, well, you know what? We want him removed because he's being a disturbance. Not because of the service animal, but because of a disturbance. What are the legal rights there? Because it is private property. Is that getting a little murky?
That's where it shifts. I mean, so yes, I'm calling you out on your ADA violation. And then wait, all of a sudden, I'm going to shift it and say a 180-degree turn. It's not an ADA violation. You have become outraged. You've become, you know, a disturbance to the public. And because you've done those things, now we're going to ask you to leave. Although I don't agree with it, that's like chaining different reactions. It is technically legal. You can do that. And then your legal recourse could be a number of things. You could have that person trespass because law enforcement is there. In the presence of law enforcement, you can say you're banned from my location. And now they know law enforcement will notate that. And if that person comes back, they could be charged with trespassing. But then on the other person's side, this plaintiff's side, you can say, hey, I was lawfully where I was supposed to be. I was doing things that I was in compliance with. And now they've removed me from a place that I lawfully am trying to be a customer because he ultimately was trying to purchase something in this location. So then you have the secondary effect of, do we remove this person where we lawfully have a right to, and then do we deal with the blowback, which could potentially be this lawsuit? And so that's what they did. They decided that we want to remove him because he's going to be a nuisance, because he's becoming a problem, because he's in bothering our guests. Right. And if you look at the complaint, all the statements, the guests were saying he was no problem. The management that was there outside of the folks that talked to him, that called the police, said he wasn't a disturbance. So there is contradictions of that problem. But what I can say is that they are lawfully within their right to ask him to be removed and to have him be trespassed because it's a private plot. Now, if this was a public location, totally different story.
Okay, real quick, free game. Would you settle this out of court or would you let it go to court?
It depends. And I'll say this. I know you said it real quick. This is a pro se complaint. And I never say that pro se complaints. That means he's representing himself. I will never say that's not a bad thing, but we have folks that go to law school for a reason. I always gave folks that come in my courtroom this thing. You didn't go to medical school, right? So if you had a tooth that needed to be pulled, you're not going to pull it yourself. You're going to get a dentist. Well, in this situation, you need to get an attorney. Well, I think he has the facts. Some of the intricate details of how the law works, I think need assistance. So asking the question of should he settle or should they settle? Maybe not at this time. But then down the road, I think his facts are right. They just need fine tuning.
Mr. Bowman, I hope you're listening. That's free game right there from Chief Legal Analyst Khalif Rhodes. Khalif, appreciate it, my friend.